What is up, geeks and gamers? Sorry we're a little late, but we're back. Good things come to those who wait. It's your boy Q and QMG, bringing you guys into the Quniverse, where we talk to you guys about everything geeky, gamey, and nerdy. And we are back. We missed 2 weeks due to some certain things that happened. One huge tragedy
with Kobe Bryant, and we took the week off to grieve. And then last week was the Super Bowl, so we let y'all enjoy that and just kicking it. Watching the Super Bowl, watching the Kansas City Chiefs go ahead and clinch it out. Shout outs to Patrick Mahomes and the boys, Tyreek Hill, bringing it in.
Yeah, shout out to those guys. But we are back in full effect like we never left, and we're here to bring you guys some awesome content today. Big Bug, appreciate you for tuning in. We'll be bringing your topic next week, so get ready, stay tuned in for that. Brian, appreciate you for tuning in. But yeah, so we're going to start it off discussing which goes into one of the topics we brought up previously. The Super Bowl had a spot during all the commercials. Super Bowl has the special commercials where they have certain things, and they actually introduced 4 of the major Marvel
Disney Plus series coming up within the next 2 years. No, it was 3. It was
3 years.
No, 3. No, they showed 3 shows coming up in the next 2 years. No, actually, they're all coming up this year. I'm sorry, I'm mistaken.
And they
showed Captain America. I'm not Captain America. The Falcon and
Mama. Great, appreciate y'all for watching.
Thank you for watching. We got Captain America. I said it again. I'm thinking of the Winter Soldier. I'm thinking of the awesome movie Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki. Yes, and I guess we could start off with Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Which, hey John, appreciate you for tuning in, bro. I ain't seen you in a minute.
Thank you.
But yeah, we could start off with Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You heard
Captain Falcon, yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because he's Captain Falcon now. But yeah, we're gonna start off with that because, as we can see, they're actually going to introduce the U.S. agent. And for the geeks and gamers out there who don't know about the U.S. agent, he was introduced in the comic books as another Captain America who had ideologies separate of Captain America.
He was governmentally, he was picked specifically by the government to be the chosen successor, John Walker, of Captain America. And I have this, and I'm not concerned, but I'm wondering, because for those who don't know, for the geeks and gamers out there, the U.S. agent is very conservative-minded, very much government-minded.
Government want to be.
Yes, and unlike Steve Rogers, while he is a soldier and believes in the government, he believes in the idealistic aspect of America.
What it's built upon.
Yeah, what it's built upon. He's not somebody quote unquote Blue Lives Matter or someone who judges upon appearance. He believes in the people and believes in protecting others' rights, whether it's from his background or other people's background. John Walker is not that person. He's very much.
Hey Jamal, appreciate you for tuning in.
He's very much the person that will look at a group of black people and probably say, "Hey, pull up those pants
there you go,"
and or harass a minority group or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how Disney incorporates that into the live action. Q, what are your thoughts and opinions on it?
Yeah, well, we had a couple scenes showing like Falcon actually learning how to throw the shield. So it's saying he doesn't know how to throw the shield yet. What up, Big Charles? Appreciate you for tuning in. That he doesn't know how to control the shield yet. And we also got scenes with Zemo coming back. Now he's actually gonna be Baron Zemo.
Yep.
But Zemo coming back, him having scenes with Winter Soldier. For y'all, the geeks and gamers who don't know, in when Captain America and Civil War, Zemo was the main villain, but he wasn't his true comic book self in that. But now they're gonna start more akin to the Baron Zemo character that is in the comic books. So that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a lot. It really
for winter for Falcon.
Appreciate you for tuning in.
Yeah, for Falcon in the winter. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough for us to talk about and speculate.
Falcons, we still haven't seen Falcon in his Captain America outfit. They still haven't been keeping that kind of on the hush, but we got to see him what looked to be scenes congruent with each other, him flying with the guys with the wingsuits, but everything was mashed together, so we really don't know which scene is from which show unless we just really speculate.
I mean, I know some things have been made official and spoke upon, like how in the beginning Sam will have to give the shield to a U.S. agent, and over the course he's going to earn it back. A major X-Men location, Madripoor, is going to be used, and that's going to be the first official. One of the first, well, the second official, because the first official was Sword's reveal at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. This will be like this. This will be the second hint at the X-Men's existence in the MCU, and I believe that's it for Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier. The next show that they were heavily featured,
WandaVision. We can go into WandaVision.
Yes, WandaVision. That was, for those who don't know, the premise of WandaVision is Scarlet Witch, Wanda's character.
Willie, appreciate you tuning in. Sean, what's up?
QMG. But yeah, that's gonna be the focus of that, and her creating this alternate reality with her and Vision as a couple, and seeing how that degrades and degrades over time, and the situations that are included in that. And it looks interesting. Like they said, that the reports were speaking on the first half of the series will be kind of like an homage to the sitcoms, the sitcoms of certain of the different decades, and then the latter half will go into the grandiose Marvel stories that they want us to. That's crazy.
All day.
We got grandparents watching, Sean. So there you go. That's reading the chat. So
I bet you said it again. But keep going.
But yeah, that's what the feel is of this. I was very enthused and interested with what I was seeing, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Not going to go into too much on that one because there are some rumors that can be major spoilers.
Well, from we can discuss what was in the trailer because it's just hypothetically, but there were.
Well, I'll let you take care of it because there's some stuff I know that can be expound upon it, and it can be.
Well, there were pretty big Easter eggs in WandaVision because with her altering reality, that has a lot to do with is it real or is it fake? Because if you guys watch the trailer, there were two pacifiers that came out of the baby bassinets, the baby cribs, which if you know anything in the comic books, that Wanda, it doesn't end well, sorry to say, but they have two children, so
excuse me for asking.
they have two children, and they kind of allude to that in WandaVision, but that's definitely going towards into Doctor Strange, where she's altering reality, which creates multiple universes that are parallel universes. And we got a throwback to her actual Scarlet Witch costume.
Yes, which they confirmed will be just a Halloween costume.
Obviously. But yeah, like you were saying with the sitcoms, definitely, if you see the trailer, go watch that trailer, by the way. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a lot of homages to different eras, like 70s, 80s, 90s.
The 50s, it goes from 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, kind of, you got a kind of like a Roseanne vibe, kind of got like a Brady Bunch vibe with Three's Company. Yeah, so, but you also
knock on our door. We're waiting for you.
You definitely got those vibes of those sitcom vibes. Hater alert. Straight like that. Appreciate that with Sean.
Willie, Jamar hates it.
But yeah, so we definitely got that sitcom vibe, but there's also the MCU vibe. If you watch the trailer, they have actual regular Wanda seeming to be in some type of distress, being in the alternate reality. And we still see Vision in that grayscale from Infinity War when he was killed.
Well, no, it wasn't grayscale per se. It was more so like, I would say more.
When Wanda actually came into the black and white, he was grayscale.
But yeah, no.
But we haven't seen him in color.
Yeah,
with the babies.
Yeah, so I would say that's just because it's black and white. That's what it is.
Yeah, that could be too. And Wanda, really, we won't know how this episodes pan out until we actually see the first one. Maybe every episode, Wanda snaps back and be like, "This isn't real." So we don't know.
So yeah,
but probably the most mysterious show, yet the most exciting one was
let's just leave
implications.
Let's just leave it as mysterious.
Why can't be the most exciting? Obviously, we're going to talk about why, but we have Loki, and Loki is based on the Loki from the 2012 Avengers first.
That escaped.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Endgame.
Let's drop the spoiler for Endgame. It's been out long enough. We don't have to do that.
Dre didn't see Spider-Man Far From Home.
But we don't care about that movie.
I care about that movie.
Well, from this point forward, speaking on Avengers Endgame, we're just going to jump straight into it.
Spoiler alert.
Because
Loki gets away with the Tesseract. The Loki from Avengers, the original Avengers, gets away with the Tesseract. And now it's
In an alternate reality.
Now it's a fact that he's been time traveling and manipulating time. So
he's actually the TVA on his jumpsuit. That's actually a the time
officer.
Yes, yep. And he's been captured by them.
And that's what I was leading to, because he's been manipulating time. So he's now in the time prison, and I'm guessing the whole show is gonna be him escaping the time prison.
Yes.
But where QMG, and I also agree, is not gonna be, I don't feel like it's gonna be as good as we want it to, because you have to look at it, this Loki from 2012 forward is the Loki that died in Endgame. So the Loki we're gonna get is a Loki with no character development past Avengers 1.
Well, it could be new character development for a different scenario.
Do you think he's gonna still be an anti-hero or become fully good like he was in Endgame?
Well, I don't know. We don't know. That Loki is the farthest one out that was in production. They actually moved up WandaVision's production tremendously from what it was originally supposed to start shooting, but Loki is still at the tail end of it. So yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I say it's more mysterious than potentially good, because I don't know enough to say that. So just one more quick little bite about Disney Plus. The Mandalorian season 2 confirmed to release on October 2020. So
I still have to finish that, and everybody says it's amazing.
Yeah,
from what I stopped at like episode 5. So. Everybody said it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
From what I've seen, it was amazing. It was great. They put a lot of money into The Mandalorian for it to be a TV show.
Yeah. Hey, this is Oscar night, so we're not going to keep you guys too long tonight. We did start late.
No one cares about the Oscars. You care about? I don't.
I mean, they might.
So, they can watch us and watch the Oscars. Phone, TV. Bam.
But also, we also is late, and people got to get their rest in and everything. So we're not going to keep. Plus, we got to save some stuff for next week too. So,
but where do you feel like the MCU Disney Plus is taking it? Do you feel like them moving to Disney Plus are they trying to finally say we're going to try to bring these two mediums together, or are they just going to still keep them separate? Well, especially after the big not fiasco, but the big reveal that Ezra Miller was in the DC in the Arrowverse. Yeah, he came to the Arrowverse and did a cameo.
I feel like that aspect will not play any factors into anything, because that was something Ezra Miller was speaking on when he was initially cast on The Flash, and that was something that I'm pretty sure he pulled all of the strings to get done, because that was something he genuinely wanted to get done. But as far as that, I do remember when I first heard about these characters being relegated to the streaming service, I kind of felt like they were shooing them off into a corner to focus on other properties. And while I do feel that way to a certain extent still, the amount of quality that is being put into these shows, I now feel, and I'm being honest, the quality and the things I'm hearing about the current slated MCU movies, from Black Widow to Doctor Strange, I'm not enthused about those movies, and I kind of feel like they're burying their...
appreciate you for tuning in.
I'm kind of feeling like they knew that this was going to be the case, where the excitement for the movies weren't going to be that great. So now they're trying to back in the Disney Plus shows. Yeah. So, if you don't really care for these MCU films, well, at least you have these shows you can watch that kind of expound upon the things and will be a better indication on what's coming in the future. Like, and I said this previously, and I'll keep saying it. I'm not enthused about Black Widow. I'm definitely not enthused about Eternals.
Jay, appreciate you tuning in, bro.
Because of the situation that happened with Scott Derrickson and the previous director for Doctor Strange 2, I'm not excited for that, despite them hiring Sam Raimi. And I know they're not going to let Sam Raimi be Sam Raimi. They're just hired him to exercise Kevin Feige's vision for Doctor Strange 2. Yes. So I'm not excited about that in any capacity, because I know that despite people's best interest and best thoughts, we're not seeing no Tobey Maguire or anything.
Oh, no, definitely. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. But no, because I definitely feel like that what did I tell you my wish and hope for the next 10 years to be?
Well, your wish and hope and what they're going to do is completely different, because Sony still holds all of the cards. We'll get into it in a second, but I'm just not excited for any of the upcoming movies. Shang-Chi, the only exception to that, because I genuinely feel...
You hyped for Shang-Chi?
Yeah, because I genuinely feel like it's going to be it'll be a good movie. They're putting the right representation and the right people behind it, and they seem enthused, and I feel like this will be not to equivalate it because it's another minority in their
that's what I was saying,
in their own setting, but I do feel like they're gonna handle it the right way and actually make it be like a Black Panther, an exception to the MCU rule.
So you're no longer excited for Doctor Strange?
Yes, I am no longer excited for Doctor Strange. When they were saying it was going to be a horror movie or a horror movie adjacent, I was like, yeah. But now that I'm seeing it's going to be more of they're going to travel through dimensions and that's going to be the main crux of it, I can see that's going to just be a load of hoopla. So
do you feel like, okay, with that being said, can they make a universe manipulating story that is compelling?
No, they can't, because they're not going to try to. They're going to try to do what they're going to do with Doctor Strange is, because Marvel has this tendency of copying DC when they do something, and this goes back to what you brought up with Ezra Miller, but it didn't. But you brought it up with the TV shows, and I feel like they're going to do it with this movie, and they're going to try to go to these other universes and try to tie it, because they already confirmed that we're going to see different versions of characters we've seen before, so they already said that.
Yes,
but I feel like that's what Doctor Strange 2 is going to be mostly about, just a clip show of what ifs and things we haven't seen before. Nothing really compelling story wise, and nothing that's going to be, you can look at it as a movie and go, oh, this was a great movie.
But it's not going to add anything to the MCU, you feel?
If they do add anything, it'll be superficial. It'll be along the lines of, what's going to happen down the line? It's not going to be anything that make me go, Doctor Strange is a compelling character. It's going to be, they're going to be adding this, they're going to tease this, and that's what I didn't want from Doctor Strange 2. I wanted a Doctor Strange movie that expounded upon him, his lore, his characters, and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Add, especially when you're dealing with magic, which I always feel like in the comic book universe is this stuff that should be expounded upon, and I just feel like we're not going to get that. It'll be a clip show because Marvel thinks that's what's going to get people to watch Doctor Strange 2 rather than the merits that Doctor Strange inherently has.
Toy, appreciate you for tuning in. JB, it's me, your boy. But yeah, I definitely agree to the certain extent that I felt like switching genres, maybe for the first time, actually making a new genre, or using a different genre for an MCU movie, would have definitely gave it a lot more leeway, kept that train rolling, and now that we're figuring out that it's going to be more just an MCU movie with scary moments.
Well, there is no scary moments. That's completely gone now.
Yeah, so with that being said, I think a lot of the hype for me actually has dwindled as well. And switching directors mid-movie is never a good sign.
Yes,
We've never had a good sign where that happened and turned out. Some movies have turned out okay, but there's never been a movie that switched directors in the middle and turned out great. So,
especially when you consider that the director wasn't even able to impose his will just yet. Exactly. Like, he had a vision, and then he's not even able to execute it. And now everything that they were pre-planning in advance, they have now. It's just.
And like I said, I definitely quite appreciate you for tuning in. I definitely would love for the movie to be great, because Doctor Strange is probably one of my most, in my own mind, most hypest, underrated characters. Like, I think Doctor Strange is an amazing character, but he's not one of my favorites. So for him to be
what's up, Daddy?
What up, Mike? Appreciate you for tuning in. For him to have a great movie, better than his first one, because I thought his first one was a good introduction. What is it, the best movie? No. Was it a great movie? No. But I think it was a good introduction to Doctor Strange, just showing what he can do. Like, one of my favorite scenes in the MCU is Dormammu and the Eye of Agamotto, when Dormammu got tired of killing them.
With the time stone.
With the time stone, he kept reversing time, putting him in an infinite loop. I love that scene. That was probably one of my favorite MCU scenes of all time. So to dive deeper into that with the different entities that Doctor Strange that he uses and different realities, even introducing Dr. Voodoo in another reality, I can see stuff like that. That would be cool. But Ken, appreciate you for tuning in. But now with the directorial changes and knowing that it's just going to be another MCU regular run-of-the-mill movie, it's really disappointing. Really disappointing. But we still have little hope, because once again, we have WandaVision manipulating reality, and we have Wanda, aka Scarlet Witch, actually going to be in Doctor Strange as the second supporting character. So my hype was at a 10 for the movie, but now it's about a 7, because
mine was just at a 0, because I was really excited for what Scott was going to bring. He sounded excited, but to know that he completely, like, his vision is completely gone from that film, is probably going to be as cookie cutter as can be. it's completely off my radar now.
Yeah.
But enough about quick fire, because we did bring this up about Spider-Man and how we could potentially have a live action Into the Spider-Verse moment with the Spider-Mans and people. But and we'll touch on it for sure next week, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about as far as Spider-Man's live action escapades go. But it just feels like, while I definitely want to see live action stuff like that in the Spider-Verse, I just don't think Marvel wants to do that. Like, they don't want to do that. I feel like they feel like the interaction with Sony that they already have to do is going to be enough. And personally, I don't think that MCU Spider-Man 3 is going to be strong enough to warrant that. I don't feel like they'll change. I don't feel like they're going to really knock it out of the park with the third Spider-Man movie.
If we get Charlie Cox's Daredevil as a lawyer, that's going to give it a little headway.
No, I mean...
I'm definitely going to give it a chance. Are you talking about Doctor Strange, or are you talking about Spider-Man 3?
No. I've played this game long enough to know that sometimes you just gotta watch from a distance, because Marvel hasn't gone out of their comfort zone. And even with Black Panther, they only went so far out of their comfort zone. But Doctor Strange, just from what I've been reading, it ain't looking. So
quick sidebar. Is Shang-Chi, I haven't looked at anything about his powers as far as in the movie. I know his powers in the comic books. That's what I was leading into. Are they going to have his multiplication power, or just strictly fighting ability?
I wouldn't know, because his inherent fighting ability makes him the best fighter in the Marvel universe proper. So and his fight and his whatchamacallit, his duplication ability came as a result of Iron Man kind of giving him that power. So,
but that's not my thing with the Marvel universe. They say that about every major fighter. Mm-hmm. They've said Black Panther was arguably the best fighter in the MCU. No, they say Iron Fist.
No, it's always been Shang-Chi, but Marvel has never put Shang-Chi in the forefront. It's legitimately always been Shang-Chi. Danny has always been the most famous Iron Fist, but never considered the best. Black Panther is one of the best tactical minds, and he's the guy. Him and Wolverine is the longest tenured, but they all admit that Shang-Chi is a better fighter than him, than all of them.
And I'm definitely giving Doctor Strange a chance, but it had a lot of directorial changes. That's the only thing I'm kind of skeptical about. And the change in genre.
Yeah, the change reverting back to just the basic genre.
Exactly.
Instead of pushing boundaries.
Quick sidebar. John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, has been found out that, which a lot of people didn't know, he was actually tested out to be Captain America before Chris Evans got the job. And it's been coming out that a lot of people, including myself, before it was even said, wants him to be Mr. Fantastic in the MCU, knowing that now we're getting the Fantastic Four in the near future. And his wife, funny enough, was actually wanted to be Black Widow. But she had conflict of timing. She couldn't.
Yes, Emily Blunt was the front runner, and many people still wish she was Black
Widow. Yes.
And speaking on Doctor Strange, it's been heavily rumored that Emily Blunt will be in Doctor Strange as Clea, one of Doctor Strange's love interests.
Even though I want her to play her husband's opposite, Sue Storm. Because they're already married for one, and they got good chemistry.
And they are both fantastic actors.
Yes. We'll go watch A Quiet Place. Good movie. Me and my wife saw it. It's a great movie. But yeah, so John Krasinski's trying to become Mr. Fantastic. He's already stated multiple times that he loves the Marvel movies, love the MCU. They're fun, and majority of his friends who are actors are in those movies. So cross our fingers. We want John Krasinski to play Mr. Fantastic. If you don't know who that is, go watch The Office. He plays Jim. Great show. One of my favorite top 5 shows of all time.
Yes, but now we're done talking about Marvel for now, because we talked about it enough.
Dylan, appreciate you for tuning in, bro.
Right now we're going to hop into DC and DC's latest film endeavor, Birds of Prey, the fantabulous emancipation of Harley Quinn, and boy. Yes, I was going to do that. I was going to give it the shout out that it deserved, and because Q hasn't seen it yet, So I won't be going into spoilers or anything of that nature because I implore all of you to go see that film. It's phenomenal. It's rated R, definitely earns it. All of the performances were on point, and it's a fantastic film. It's genuinely a fantastic film with amazingly strong female leads, vicious villains, and just a lot of comedy, a lot of heart, and definitely has very good dramatic, intense stakes in it.
Yes,
everything hits. Whether you've read Harley Quinn comics or not, if you understand the basic idea of the character, you will know Margot Robbie kills it, especially in this film. Definitely, and someone said this, and I completely agree. She is as much Harley Quinn as Hugh Jackman is Wolverine and Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. That is how spot on it is. Mary Elizabeth Winstead from such films as Sky High and which Cloverfield is 21 Cloverfield Street?
21 Cloverfield Lane and Final Destination.
Final Destination 3, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, a litany of films. She definitely brings it as the Huntress, gives off a major John Wick vibes, just straight whooping tail left and right.
Yeah, I'm going this weekend as well.
Jurnee Smollett Bell as Black Canary is phenomenal. The way she sings, because she does sing in the movie, is A1. Her just the way she brings her on-screen presence is undeniable. Does all of her own stunts, and she does a lot of fighting in this movie. She does all of her own, 90% of her own stunts. Mm-hmm. Her and Margot. And actually, all of the women in this movie do 90% of their own stuff. I'm just now remembering it. Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya steals the show. She's as kind of charismatic as she's always been. Major high point in the movie.
What about Ewan McGregor?
I was just gonna get into that. That man, that man. He's not. I won't say he's stealing the show because he's the main. He's a obvious main course.
Okay, man.
He was awesome. He was awesome in that movie. Very menacing. Very. I don't always want to get too much into it because I don't want to spoil his character. His wingman Victor Zsasz is just very menacing, very quiet. Always keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Do we have just to ask a couple questions because you've seen it? Do we have any other DC characters that might make appearances in this movie besides the main trio? I mean, the main group and the two villains that you spoke of.
If you're basically saying it's Batman or any,
just even side villains.
No, it's very much in that core group of individuals. There are references to there are references to other characters, specifically Suicide Squad. I would argue that this is like a true sequel to Suicide Squad in both, not just in reference, but in tone and character development for Harley. It's definitely that. But this movie isn't like this. It's not a movie that goes every 5 seconds. Oh, this happened in another movie. This happens in another movie. It definitely references, like I said, Suicide Squad, but it's definitely on its own stance greatly without shaking or anything, on its own 2 feet, on its own legs. Definitely see it. Don't take your kids because it's definitely a hard R movie.
Will we be getting a Birds of Prey 2, you think?
I genuinely hope. This movie got a lot of we're still seeing how the box office is going to shake out. It does look like the quality of the movie can lend it to strong legs.
Yes.
Don't see Sonic or The Photograph this weekend. See Birds of Prey. Sonic's going to be bad, and who cares about a Valentine's Day movie in 2020? We just catch them on Netflix.
Super Sonic.
No, don't. Sonic is gonna be.
No, I'm gonna go see Sonic. Yeah, taking quote.
Okay, then they can be the only 3 people. Her, Will, and Quote can be the only 3 people to go see it. But
Super Sonic.
But don't waste your time on Sonic. And I say this as a Sonic the Hedgehog. Literally my favorite video game character. But don't.
And Jim Carrey is one of our favorite actors of all time.
Don't do it. Just wait for it to crop up on Netflix. Just see Birds of Prey. See Birds of Prey above all else. It deserves your time and effort.
So, where do you think Birds of Prey will take the DC universe, knowing right now we have 2 tangents?
3. It's okay. Let me just stop you there, and I'll give you everything you're going to ask me. Mm-hmm. This movie perfectly, and I mean perfectly, encapsulates what makes DC in general so amazing. You have the grandiose epicness that Zack Snyder, Patty Jenkins, and James Wan has delivered with Man of Steel, BVS, not Justice League until we see Zack Snyder's Justice League, Wonder Woman and Aquaman, the type of grandiose spectacle that we expect from the big major DC comics. Then you have the lighthearted fare that we got with Shazam, and we'll see further moving forward with Shazam and Justice JSA and Black Adam. And then you have the gritty underbelly street stuff that Suicide Squad and now Birds of Prey are going to give us. And I feel like where they're going to take the DCEU is they're going to be expanding upon it. I feel like, and they definitely, they've definitely mentioned making, HBO Max as another outlet to continue certain DCEU stories, which is the new HBO streaming service that'll be coming out later this year. And I honestly believe that these characters can easily introduce Poison Ivy, introduce Batgirl, and interact with them. And while also showing up in a Justice League movie or cameoing in Wonder Woman showing up. These actors and characters in Birds of Prey do not feel out of place in the pre-established DCEU. And I don't just say that because Harley has literally been in a DCEU movie with Batman in it, who is in all of these other films. I genuinely believe that you could have a moment where Jurnee's Black Canary and Mary's Huntress end up on the Justice League because they are pretty well respected Justice Leaguers in the comics, and it wouldn't feel out of place. It would feel like they were at one part of their story and now they're on another part. The same thing for Renee Montoya. Renee Montoya ends up becoming one of the later generations, The Question, one of those, he's a hero, and that mantle will get passed down to Renee Montoya, and I can definitely see her her character taking that story. So like I said, we got to see what the box office take for Birds of Prey is. It is a low budget film. It's not anything that was too expensive to make, but it is something that I hope that it makes a lot of money to guarantee it. Now the reviews, and I will be remiss to bring this up, this is the most critically well received DCEU movie at the time. I believe that not even Wonder Woman or Shazam, the other Aquaman definitely got bit in the butt by some critics. It wasn't that well received critically. With the fans, absolutely, but the critics, not so much. Birds of Prey is definitely both the critics and fans are agreeing about this movie being great and a fun time, and I hate using that word to describe movies nowadays, but a great movie with great depth and story.
So what do you give it out of a 10?
A 10. I give it a 10.
You give it a 10. Hard 10 after sleeping on it?
Yes, a hard 10 out of 10. It definitely, there was times where I was jaw dropped on the floor with the action, where my butt was tense with all the drama going on. I was laughing my tail off at the jokes, and I was heavily invested in these characters, and I wanted to see more. I remember I wanted to run through a wall watching after getting out of Birds of Prey, and just like, man, I need to see more of these women's. I need to see them kicking more butts. I need to see the Batgirl. I need to see Oracle or Batgirl Barbara as either one of them with the bird.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. It's not like I say this all the time. Not every superhero movie needs to have an indie game level climax or an Aquaman level climax. Sometimes just keeping it small and doing everything right with that centralized story is just as 10 out of 10 worthy as having all of the established Marvel characters beat down Thanos, or watching Aquaman ride on a goddamn underwater Godzilla to fight in an Atlantis war.
Which was awesome.
Yes, both of those was awesome, and I believe, and definitely, I know that Birds of Prey's action stuff stands right up there with that. And I'm just gonna say this, and this isn't a spoiler, this is a fact. When you see Harley Quinn in the police station and what she does, for those who've seen Batman v Superman and know about the Batman warehouse fight scene, it absolutely stands shoulder to shoulder with that, and I would say it even surpasses it in some aspects. So that alone is...
Well, with that being said, I definitely can see how you could be very excited for the movie from what I've seen and what I'm hopefully going to see. I think it's going to be really good. The trailers were really well done. Like you said, they don't need major, outstanding scenes with every Marvel or every DC character to ever exist fighting, but they just need a centralized story that makes sense and that works. And hopefully, I will be one of the people that also likes the movie. I love Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
You're gonna love her. You're gonna love it even more.
Yeah. So I just want to see I want to see Ben Affleck come back maybe one more time, and I definitely want to see Robert Pattinson do well. The DCEU has had some really hits and some real misses, Justice Bruh, but I would just like to see them try to make. Maybe they'll be the first one. We got to see the Joker be a whole different genre of movie than anything that we've seen in the DCEU, so that was good. They were the first ones to take the shot at different genre of movie, and a different aspect of movie, because we had through the lens of a person who's mentally disabled.
Yes, and I just want to reiterate, Joker is literally one of the best movies you will probably see in a long time. It does, and it's so weird. And I don't want to go talk too much about the Joker, because that wasn't nothing we were planning on talking about. But I just find it so funny on how a character who is so synonymous with destructive and evil deeds, but yet the Joker we saw in the Joker, while he still ends up being an evil man, unlike the comic Joker, it wasn't really his choice. It was just basically the world had basically given up on poor Arthur.
But
he
Ski, appreciate you
and unfortunately there was nobody to step in and stop the doors from closing in on him.
But that goes back to where our conversation was before, of the sympathizing with the Joker, which after long nights of thinking about it, Jarvis, appreciate you for tuning in, long nights of actually discussing and thinking for my own personal thoughts on the Joker. If we have to really be honest, the character we got was not the Joker per se.
Well, I mean that was upfront.
It was upfront that this will not be but the Joker we know, this character, put him in this movie and not call it Joker. No one would say that was the Joker, because
but since they did, now it accentuates what can make the Joker.
True. And I would like to see some more villains. I would love to see a Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze has a tragic backstory that I think will be good for his own solo movie. If his villain was Captain Cold.
No. But I don't. I think Mr. Freeze is one of the few villains that needs to live and die with Batman involved, because that's what makes his story sad, is that he had to become a supervillain to save someone he loves. You can't really translate that before Batman.
But exactly, and that's why there's been instances where Mr. Freeze has been more of an anti-hero working with Batman, because he's not inherently a bad guy. He just does what he needs to do and makes weapons and stuff because he's trying to bring his wife back.
I just feel like I understand that, but I feel like that is that aspect that makes him more compelling with someone else. I was like, if his Mr. Freeze, if that was a side plot or the B story to a miniseries, then I'd be all down for it. But just a core Mr. Freeze movie with him in the front, and then something, just him in the front. For me personally, I don't see it.
And I guess for the last thing we could talk about,
this wasn't the last thing.
Oh no! It still goes into that. I'm just saying, but with the DCEU split with the Robert Pattinson, because the Robert Pattinson Batman has the potential to uproot everything that's been the groundwork laid for everything DCEU.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. The only way that happens is if Wonder Woman 84 flops. If Wonder Woman 84 does not flop, and the Snyder Cut is released, then it won't.
How do you feel about Kristen Wiig being Cheetah? You think she's gonna do good?
I know she will. I'm not. There's nothing about that casting that has me worried.
Oh, is there? I'm just saying, a lot of people wouldn't expect Kristen Wiig to be Cheetah.
And I'll say they don't know what they're talking about, because literally every major comic book performance has come from someone outside of the perceived genre that they're.
This is true.
That they do. The biggest example of it is Heath Ledger,
who came off the heels of Brokeback Mountain and A Knight's Tale.
And those movies were vastly different in and of itself.
Yes.
He came in and he shook the table of it. So, and that just doesn't even apply to superhero movies. It's all like any great actor can jump genres, and normally when they jump those genres, their performances are transcended. So I definitely, with the level of quality that is available to Christian with this movie, I know she can bring it, and that's my feelings on it. But to answer your original question about Batman and how
uprooting everything in the DCU prior to the Batman actually coming out,
it won't because it's still a Batman movie, and there's still been highly successful DCEU movies that have have a lot of legs and a lot of stuff to it. Like Aquaman still made $1 billion. The first Wonder Woman still was transcended and reset the board on how female superhero movies are perceived and how they are done. So I don't see Robert Pattinson doing a very good job as Batman, uprooting everything, and not to mention Birds of Prey and what that's going to entail, or Suicide Squad. So I believe that at the very least they might try to fit in Robert Pattinson as Batman now.
They just aging him, or something dealing with time.
I just think, and I say this all the time about all of these type of things. I do think that we as comic book fans overthink this in a certain degree, because they could just easily say, "Here's Robert Pattinson,"
and you know how many people are gonna have a conniption that this guy who just seen Ben Affleck play a late 40 something Batman, and now we get a 30-year something old Batman. No grays in his head.
Well, people have accepted more for less. They accepted War Machine going from a light-skinned dude to a dark-skinned dude.
This is true.
They accepted,
but that's War Machine and not Iron Man.
But that's the point. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who. It does the fact that it happened and the severity of how it happened, and nobody seems to care at the moment. And if Batman's good, nobody's gonna care how old Batman is. If Batman's good, Batman's good.
Yeah. So, and with that being said, we're gonna wrap that up for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Brief thing I need to let you guys know. You guys always can comment, like, and share on these videos.
Yes.
Always on our Into the Qniverse personal Facebook page, my personal Facebook page at Quentin Ziegler on Facebook, and as well as the Geeked Up Media page. All content will be posted on those 3 pages. You can go
as well
back.
as the YouTube channel.
Yes, and the YouTube channel at Into the Qniverse, everything together, no spaces. You can go watch all our content on there, even our other videos that aren't pertaining to the podcast, that are pertaining to funny videos we do. We also do breakdowns and analysis of various things going on in the gaming and movie geeky media. You could go look at that. And always, like I said, like, comment, and share. Tell us what you guys want to talk about. We'll talk about some things you guys want to talk about. But with that being said,
and shout outs to the Worlds of DC podcast.
Yes.
They are a fantastic group of individuals. I am included in that. And then we talk about DC related stuff. We'll be getting ready for the Birds of Prey review episode to let y'all know in spoilery detail just our thoughts on it, among other things, and really other things. There's some things I couldn't get into on here, but I will get into on next week. I will even talk about them next week too. But yeah, give them a shout out. Mikey, Tab, Key, Haley, Mike, Jamari, Romeo,
shout out Worlds of DC,
Aaron, all of the good folks there. We'll find them on Apple Music and the Spotify's.
Yes. And
yeah, that's about it. And as always,
you already know this is your boy Q
and QMG. And no, your ears haven't been deceived. We didn't have the soundboard up this week.
We'll have it back next week.
Yes, that was that. Because
you always know we thug it out, but we can't thug it out.
We can't thug it out this week.
But yes, with that being said, this is Into the Qniverse. We signing out.
Yes.
Game over.
Yes,
no soundboard.
That was me. I'm the soundboard.
Straight like that.